session because I'm going to be out of town. I'm going out of town next week, next Wednesday, so there will not be a live session. So I will make sure that I post that in our announcements. All right. So hopefully you can see my desktop now. I'll go ahead and put it right there. So it'll be something that looks familiar to you. And make sure that you, if you would please, mute your mic. Cody, I think yours is the one. Okay, I got you, Cody. All right. Hi, everybody. Thank you for attending tonight. I'm going to talk about a couple of things. We're going to talk about the midterm exam, and we're going to talk more about the service learning project. If you're not, hopefully you're not tired of hearing about that just yet. First things first, midterm. The midterm exam is posted. It will open at 8 o'clock tonight. Hi, Ashley. So feel free to go in and take that. I'll talk to you a little bit about the midterm. I will also link it right here. I didn't want to link it yet because it is it's not open to you guys, but I'll link it to the announcement here on the front page. But if you don't want to go to the link on the announcement when I post it, you can always go to assessments and then quizzes. Wait for it. And you'll see your midterm right there. And I can see that nobody can see this, so let me fix that while I'm here. It is 30 questions, all multiple choice, all come from your chapters in OpenStax. Chapters 1 through 7, that's where we left off, was chapter 7. So you have 60 minutes to complete the exam. Oh, sorry, Ashley. Can't hear. Ashley, here, let me type it in since you can't hear. You might need to pop in or pop out and then pop back in. Okay. So, well, one reason she doesn't have a microphone, so maybe that's, anyway. So that is your midterm. It's 30 questions, all multiple choice, nothing really to trip you up. If you read the chapters in OpenStax, or you're familiar with how it's laid out, you've got about 2 minutes per question. You have exactly 2 minutes per question to get these answered. So, I mean, it's nothing, that's really going to trip you up. No surprises. I literally did the test today and went to the chapter for every single question, the different chapters. So, nothing big there. Remember that that this is 15% of your grade. Okay? And so it would be good to do well on it. I mean, you don't want to blow it off. Okay? Go down here. Midterm, 15%. Okay? Midterm grades are due the 7th, October 7th. So I have to have them posted by then. Is an hour enough time? Usually take long on tests. Well, it is 2 minutes per question. So, I mean, if you are familiar with OpenStax, if you've read the chapters, then you should be fine. I mean, a test is something that either you know the material or you don't. Okay, so it's not. There's nothing in there that's going to trip you up. I don't think. I mean, like I said, every question that I have in there came straight from those chapters. Let me just say this: the test will be available for you to take starting at 8 o'clock tonight, and it will not close until Sunday at 11:59 p.m. So what that means is that you don't have to take it tonight. You can take it tonight, you can take it tomorrow night or Friday night, Saturday, but you do need to get it in before 11:59 p.m. on Sunday. So if you want to go back and Ashley, we can hear you. You have sound now, but I just muted you, so you're fine. So if you don't want to take the test until Saturday or Sunday, if you want to go back and review some of the chapters, that's fine. I mean, you can absolutely do that. Did that answer your question, Tucker? I hope so. Okay, great. All right. Let's see if there's anybody else. Anybody else have any questions about the midterm? I understand. Like I said, Tucker, none of these questions on this exam are trick questions or meant to trip you up. So, okay. All right, so if we're finished talking about the midterm, if nobody else has a question about the midterm, then I will move on to something different. Okay? All right, so the other thing I wanted to talk to you about, and that you need to turn in this week, is the service learning project. You don't have to turn in the service learning project. Let me back up. You don't have to turn it in this week. What you have to turn in is your plan. And what I mean by your plan, I'll show you this in just a second. All I really need is to know what you're thinking about doing and maybe what kind of resources that's going to require of you, okay? I really don't even need a lot of details. The purpose of this is for you to tell me what you're going to do, and that way I can make sure that we're both on the same page, okay? So, and I can link this in the announcement right here as well. So for right now, I'm going to go to assessments and then go to assignments. And if you'll look at the service learning plan, and you see I have a due date right here for this. It doesn't have any point value, but if you don't do it, then I'm going to have to hunt you down, and I don't want to do that, okay? By now, you should kind of know what you want to do or have some kind of ideas to what you want to do for your service learning. So turn this in so we can both make sure we're on the same page. I don't want you to go and do some type of volunteer service thinking that it's okay, only to turn it in and me say, no, that's not okay. Okay? So here's what you have to do for the assignment. I have the instructions right here. Tell me about the volunteer experience you're planning for this project. You should include the following information, 2 whole questions. Name your volunteer experience and any kind of resources. And make sure you're enrolled in a group. Okay, you have to enroll in a group. To enroll in a group, it's very easy. You can come right up here to communication and click on groups. And there you will see can view available groups. This blue button right here. It says no items found. Is that what you're telling me? No, Seth. This is all you have. How can I tell if I'm enrolled in a group, Keely? Well, you can go to communications and then groups and then view my groups. I think it's showing me this because I'm in as an instructor, as a student. But Keely, if you'll give me permission, I'll go in as you, and maybe I can see if you're involved, if you're enrolled in a group. Okay, thank you, Keely. Thank you for taking one for the team. Okay, give me 1 second. All right, here's Keely's U.S. History class. We go up here to Communications. See, I'm in as Keely. Click on Groups. You're in the Culture Club. See right here? See if we do available groups. What does it say? Okay. Maybe because you're in a group. I'm gonna get you out of this group. See what it says. I'll put you back in. Okay, see what happened there? Let me do it again. Okay. To go to your group, to join a group, go to Communications and then click on Groups. And when you do that, you see this, which makes no sense and has, you have no, nothing to do here. So click on the blue button that says View Available Groups. And when you do that, it will show you the different groups you can join. Civic Responsibility, Culture Club, or Reformers. If you don't know what these mean or which one you should join, I'll show you in just a minute where you can find that. But Keely said that she wanted to be a part of the Culture Club group. Is that right, Keely? Oh gosh, I have 6 comments. Hold on. Let's see. You can change groups, that's fine. We're supposed to fill out discussion questions on the service learning project. You will fill out a discussion question dealing with the service learning project. Yes, you will. You can change groups. So when I signed up for 7 clubs, I registered my name on it. Okay, I'll be updating it with the school. That's fine. That's good, Ashley. No. Okay, so you're, Keely, I guess you're saying yes to you still want to be a part of Culture Club, right? You think so? Okay, well, if you end up not wanting, then you can come back and change it. But you got to make all these decisions by Sunday, okay? But for now, let's say Keely wants to be a part of Culture Club. So all she does is just click right here, this join group. Let's see what's going on here. Not right now. You will do a discussion question dealing with the service learning project, but not now. I'm going to go ahead and click join group because that's the group she said she wanted to be a part of. And there she sees that her culture club is her service learning group. Okay, so she's in a group. Yay. Okay. I'm going to get out of being Keely. Thank you for allowing me to do that, Keely. So there are going to be 3 assignments for you to turn in as part of this project. No, that's not. Okay, Tucker, no, it's not an alternative assignment because you're still doing volunteer work. It's part of a group. It's part of a group. Okay. Let's see if I put it in this one. There are 3. If I come here to content, and I click on service learning, it's one of the modules here. Don't forget this is here. This gives you information about the service learning project. You start with the start here, and it talks about what the project is and what the groups are. Okay. I think I know what you were talking about, Keely, when I said discussion groups. Yes. I know, I've made this confusing, and I apologize. We did have a discussion group. What I wanted to do was get you guys all in groups, these 3 groups, so you could be with like-minded people that shared the same interest as you. And what I wanted you to do for this discussion that was due on the 15th is I wanted you to just talk about some ideas of what you might do. If you were part of Culture Club, what were you kind of thinking about doing, planning to do? That's also the reason why I asked you to give me 3 potential organizations or activities for you to do as part of that group. Those were the things that you were supposed to do in that discussion. And if you haven't done that, I'm perfectly fine to go back and open that up and let you guys do that. Because that is just helping you get some ideas about what to do for this project. That's the only reason you're in a group, is to just kind of be with people who think the same way as you. They chose Culture Club, you chose Culture Club. So, what are you thinking about doing? Oh, well, I'm going to do, go to the Hispanic Festival and help them organize or something like that, just to get ideas. That's the only reason you're in a group. After you've completed your service and turned in your work, there will be additional discussion questions that you will answer. Oh, yeah. Because you're the only person in Culture Club, or you one other. When I open it, Ashley, I'm going to need you to do it by Sunday, because you have to have your plan in by Sunday. Okay? By Sunday, you need to tell me what it is you're planning to do for the service learning project. Okay? That way, if you say, I'm going to work at the Hispanic Festival, I can say, okay, yeah, that's a good thing to do. But if you say, and I mentioned this last time, oh, I'm going to go shopping at Macy's to help the economy, I'm going to say, no. You need to find something different. And I have had 1 or 2 people ask me about certain things they could do, and I've said, no, that doesn't kind of fit into what we're doing here. So you do want to turn in that plan to the Dropbox this Sunday. But yes, I will open up this discussion so you guys can go in after you choose your group. About the groups here. Here are the groups. And if you're not sure what group you're supposed to be in or what fits for you, here are the different descriptions of the group. Got your Culture Club here. This is just, you're the kind of person that wants to work with a different group of people than what you are, different ethnic group or different religious group than what you are. Okay, because that's kind of interesting to you. Now, why are you doing that? Well, all of this is linking back to something that we're learning in history. And our very first unit was called Converging Cultures. And so we're learning in the very beginning how different cultures came in and made what we are today, which is the United States. How the Europeans came in, the Native Americans who were already here, and the Africans. And so we have all these different culture groups, right, in the United States. So how do we accept one another? How are we tolerant of one another? How do we learn about each other? Okay, so let's see what I got here. You can switch groups if you want to. The Reformers, thank you for asking. The Reformers, this is about a group of people that we will be learning about after midterm. The Reformers, after the United States was established, and this is kind of where we left off. We just got our government together, right? We just established our Constitution and ratified our Constitution. So we're very new as a country. Well, in about 50 years, around the more like about the 1820s, you had this group of people. They were called reformers because our cities had been established. We're starting to trade. We're still very young as a country. We go through the War of 1812 successfully, but now you have a group of people who are looking at society and saying, we need to reform some of these social issues that we are seeing here in our cities. Abolitionists were one of them. You had this group of people in the North that said, hey, wait a minute, we don't agree with slavery, what's going on in the South, and to some degree in the North. So they wanted to reform that type of social issue. You had people like Dorothea Dix, who spent time in the prisons and helped educate prisoners. And she said, the conditions in the prisons are horrible. We need to reform that. You had people like Horace Mann, who, and his daughters, who, were big proponents of education. We've got this country. We need to educate the people. So for the group of the reformers, I would say if you see something that interests you, that you think needs to be changed, like maybe helping out at a homeless shelter or volunteering at a hospital, helping out at a school, something like that, where you're wanting to change this social issue, then I would say that you would choose the reformers group. Civic responsibility, that group says that as citizens of the United States, it's our duty to make our community a better place, right? So how do you do that? Well, just as you said, Cody, you said you want to pick up trash, right? Okay? Keep Columbus beautiful. Go pick up trash on the Chattahoochee or whatnot. You're doing that because it's your civic responsibility. And so this is something that is not explicitly stated, but implied in our Constitution, that we will be good citizens and care about our communities. Okay, so I hope that explains it a little bit for you, Cody, or anyone else who's not sure about what group, why they're getting into a group and what they're going to do here. Okay, good. Thank you. Somebody else had a question, though. What was it? When is the service learning discussion due? Is that separate from the plan? Yes, it is. Okay, so when you get into a group, your next step is to go and when you get into a group, you'll be in a group with people who are in your same group, whether it's culture club or civic responsibility. And so that's why you see this very first discussion question here. So all you're doing here in this first discussion is just giving some ideas about where you might volunteer. For example, if you've chosen the civic responsibility, you may say, I was thinking about picking up trash on the Chattahoochee. I was thinking about walking dogs at Paws. And I was also thinking about helping paint lines on a football field for the school or something like that, okay? And then go and see what other people are doing. So both this initial discussion, your group discussion, and the plan are both due by Sunday at 11:59, along with your midterm. How is that? Is that clear? All right, what I want to show you real quick. Gosh, I got another question. Let's see. Oh, good. That's a thank you. I want to show you guys something real quick. I have, okay. I was digging through trying to find some examples of what people did. And this is from a previous class. Their requirements were a little bit different, but essentially this was Marcia's. She had volunteered at the Easter Seals. And so she made a PowerPoint talking about the Easter Seals, how it's connected to history. Like I said, the requirements on her PowerPoint were a little bit different, but essentially you get the idea of what she did. She took some pictures on the day that she volunteered. Took some pictures of the students. Guys, make sure if you're doing children, you get permission, okay? Because people kind of get freaked out when you start taking pictures of their kids, okay? So I don't want you guys to get in trouble, all right? She, was part of their requirements to talk about the impact she did that and the future, okay? Yours is going to be a little bit different, but I'm just trying to give you an idea. Here's another one. She went and volunteered at a Brighter Day Academy. Okay. It's an after-school tutoring program. Okay. She talked about the connection to U.S. history, the impact. Okay. And if you notice, a lot of these people have their backs turned, which she was probably told, don't take a picture, of anybody's face or something like that. That's perfectly fine. I don't want you to get in. Yeah, okay, and that's a good question, Ashley. You're asking, look, if I'm doing this online, because I showed you a bunch of online resources. Obviously, you're going to have to get a little bit creative, but that's okay. You can take a picture of yourself, with like a selfie, answering your whatever you're doing there. Maybe you could also just find some general pictures, because I'm not sure what 7 Cups is. Is that the counseling? Is that the counseling? Maybe you could just find some general pictures, some open stock pictures of counseling. Okay, and that's fine. I mean, I'm certainly not going to hold you responsible for something that you are not able to produce, okay? But I would like to see how you're involved in it, okay? And then here's some other pictures there. Let's see. Okay. If there was anything else I could see. I thought I had another one on here of a little girl. But so I hope you kind of get the idea here. Wait a minute, let me see if I can. Nope. Hopefully that gives you some kind of idea of what I'm looking for there. It's 7:30. I don't want to keep you any longer. I think I pretty much answered your questions. But I'm here until 8 o'clock, so if you have more questions, please let me know. Remember, I don't take late work, so if you miss the midterm, then you're just losing 15%. That means what? Best you can do if you make 100 on everything is get it, what, an 85 in this class? Which, I'm telling you, every one of you ought to get an A because it's not that challenging of a class. I find pictures on Google Images of topics I have talked about as long as I cite the sources where I got the pictures from. You can, yes. There are some, what they call, either it's OpenStock or no coding. The videos are the presentation. I mean, you'll do a presentation. Let me show you what that's going to look like. Ashley, you can do something called Creative Commons or OpenStock, and they have general stock pictures that are in the public domain. You don't even have to, cite them. Well, I guess you have to cite them because you got them from somewhere, but you don't have to worry about like royalties or anything like that. Let me show you this, Cody. And this is all going to be open for you to look at. I mean, I'm not hiding any of this from you because I'm going to open up everything from the Service Learning Project now. So the auto photography presentation is what it's called, okay? And this is after you're really going to be doing this while you're doing your service. So it says, in this assignment, you're asked to document your experience through media. You may take no less than 5 pictures or record a 2-minute video. Just have to give you some kind of guideline. Combination of the two is also acceptable. That captures your service learning experience. You will add the media to a PowerPoint presentation or other presentation software, something like Adobe Spark or something like that, but PowerPoint is fine. And give a description. So I don't just want pictures like the others, the examples that you saw. I had pictures, but they were kind of telling me also what was happening and what they were doing. I would suggest that you use the discussion questions that you'll answer as you reflect on your experience, maybe as a guide. That's fine. Excuse me. Tell me about the things, people, or actions in the photos or video. Your description should be in a range of about 150 to 200 word count. That's pretty much what you saw in those examples. Please submit your completed assignment to the appropriate Dropbox, which is there, okay? So that's going to be... Right, yes, Tucker. And then you maybe share the website where, where you're going to go to, do that transcribing, that kind of stuff. That's fine. Okay? Let's see. The other, when you do the discussion questions outside of the initial discussion question, it's going to be to the whole group. You're not going to be in groups. You won't only be doing your discussion questions to people in your group. It'll be to the whole class. Hi, whoever just came in. Okay, so takeaways from this session. No live session next week. I'm going to be in Las Vegas. And I'm not going to do this from Las Vegas, so... But, as always, you can reach out to me, you can text me, you can email me. Text is better, though. It's a lot better. Anybody here texted me? Has anybody texted me? You can attest that I respond pretty quickly to a text. I don't like text messages hanging out in my phone. Dishwa, you did. Yeah, and I respond pretty quickly to that. That's if you have a problem. Next week, what we'll do is go right back into OpenStax. You'll read something. You'll have a couple of class activities. You know, it should be pretty easy. Good. Yeah. I don't like texts hanging out in my phone. Okay. Thanks, Tucker. Thanks for coming. Oh, one thing I forgot. If you have not turned in your informed consent for the study, if you Ashley, 41 texts that you haven't responded to. See, I could never do that. If you have not turned in your informed consent for the study, please do that. Okay, if you want to be a part of that, you get a $5 Starbucks gift card. You get a cup of coffee on me. Y'all don't drink coffee, probably. Okay, you get a pumpkin spice latte. Oh, some people like it. Okay, it's good. That would drive me crazy, Ashley, if I had 41 text messages that I haven't replied to. Who else has a question? Got another question right there. Haha. Well, you know, if I'm going to give my number out to students and allow them to text me, then I pretty much have to answer them. My email gets really bogged down, though. I think I have like, well, I'm ashamed to say it. I have a lot of emails. I get a lot of emails. So, but please, if you're struggling or you're not sure what you want to do for your project, please reach out to me because I'm more than happy to help direct you somewhere. I think it was a real game changer when I showed all the online ways people could volunteer, right? Because people are thinking, well, it's going to take time to go out and organize and pick up trash on the Chattahoochee, but you know, there are things that you can do, you know, right from your own home. So, we did talk about the midterm. You want to talk about it some more, Maddie? Did you miss that part? I can say it again. Okay. All right. So the midterm will open at 8 o'clock. Yes, you're free to go. Thank you for coming, Ashley. Also, this is being recorded, so I can post the recording if you want to listen. So the midterm's going to open up at 8 o'clock here in just a few minutes. I will link it here to the announcement. Okay, so you can just open up the announcement and get to it. Or you can come up here to assessments and then quizzes. And it's right here. As it says, right here, the midterm's going to be due. It has to be completed by September 29th, this Sunday at 11:59 p.m. 30 questions, all multiple choice, all come from the first 7 chapters of OpenStax. And I literally put it together today and went into every chapter in OpenStax and developed a question. Okay? All multiple choice, 30 questions. You have an hour to complete that. So it's about 2 minutes per question. Now, somebody expressed a little concern that that wasn't enough time to complete the test. Well, once you open the test, then your hour starts. But if you want to, between now and Saturday, review the 7 chapters to, get a pretty good understanding of what they're about, then you can do that, and you can just take it on Saturday. Just because it opens at 8 doesn't mean you got to rush in there and take it. You can take it anytime between now and Sunday at 11:59. But once you start the test, then that hour starts, okay? 30 questions, all multiple choice. Well, actually, I think there's one true false. maybe 2. So for the service learning project this week, here's what I want you to do. Make sure you are enrolled in a group. Make sure you are enrolled in a group. And once you get enrolled in that group, okay, you can complete that discussion question, that initial discussion question where you're in the group and then you just come up with 3 ideas of what you might do for your service learning. Okay? That'll allow you to get that done once you enroll in a group. The other thing you have to complete this week for the service learning project is what we're calling the service learning plan. It's not that big of a deal. All you have to do, it's just your way of telling me what you're planning to do for the service learning. So there's just 2 questions you have to answer. For this, it's a Dropbox assignment. You just got to tell me what the volunteer experience is and what resources you need to complete for the, or need to have, not complete, need to have. For example, if you're doing something online, you're going to need that website, right? The Smithsonian website or whatnot. So you answer these 2 questions and that's done. Did that answer your question, Jasmine? Okay. These questions, they come straight from the chapters. Everything's due Sunday night, 11:59 p.m. There aren't any trick questions. There's not. I mean, I'm not here to trip you up. If you read the chapters or if you're very familiar with the chapters, you're going to be okay. There's no trick questions. I can honestly say that if somebody comes back and says, well, I didn't know what this was, or I didn't know about, this question, we didn't cover this, I'll be able to go back into OpenStax and show you exactly where it is. And make sure you do the midterm, because I don't take late work, and if you miss it, then that's going to adversely affect your grade. If you miss the midterm, the best you can do in this class is an 85, because it's 15%. And, some people are like, okay, I'll take an 85. I wouldn't not do the midterm because of that. I mean, I think it's going to be okay. Who else has a question? With something? That's true. But take a look at the chapters before you start. One through seven. That is correct. Didn't like that. Um, helping somebody out. Helping somebody out. Helping. I mean, you could do like pick up trash. um, maybe you have an elderly neighbor. There are some elderly, there's some retirement homes in town if you wanted to go and just volunteer, hang out with elderly people, or if elderly people aren't your thing and you want to work with young people, school age kids, you could, do something like that. Let's see. What is, oh, see, Ronald McDonald House. Dogs Day Out. Okay, maybe not everybody wants to do that. The volunteer match. I mean, maybe you could, help out a neighbor, somebody who can't do for themselves. I don't know if you cut grass. You could cut grass or wash their car. Or, give me that. Okay. You too. Thanks for coming, Jasmine. Maddie, you got anything else for me? Okay. You're welcome. You too, Maddie. Bye.